Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our NIBS home school. My dear students, hope you are all well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am Sanjida, assistant teacher. Today I will take a biology class for the student of class 9, and our today's class topic is chapter 2. In our previous classes we discuss in this chapter, and also we discuss the cell organelles of the plant and animal cell, different kinds of cell organelles like mitochondria, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosome, and also discuss plant and animal tissues. Now we will discuss last part of the chapter 2. Now let's start our class. Muscular tissue. Muscular tissue growing from the mesoderm of the embryo, the particular type of tissue capable of containing and expanding to effect movement and tissue forming the muscle of vertebrate animals is called muscular tissue. Matrix is nearly absent in muscular tissue. Now, mesoderm. Embryo has 3 layers: outer layer, middle layer and inner layer. And these layers are called ectoderm, outer layer, mesoderm, middle layer, and endoderm, it is called inner layer. And these muscle tissues grow from the mesoderm, that means middle portion of the embryo. And the particular type of tissue capable of contraction and expanding. Contracting means it closed, and expanding means it's relaxed and it enlarged. Expanding to effect movement and tissue forming the muscles of vertebrate animals called muscular tissue. Matrix is nearly absent in muscular tissue. Muscle cells are delicate, elongated and fiber-like. Delicate means they are tall, elongated, they are very long, tall and fiber-like. Myofibril with transverse strains are called strained muscles, and those without strains is called smooth muscle. So when these muscle tissues have strains, we call it strained muscle tissue, and when the strains are absent without a strain, it is called smooth muscle. Through contraction and expansion, muscle cells take part in organ movement and internal circulation. Based on location, structure and function, muscle tissue is of 3 types: voluntary muscle tissue, involuntary muscle tissue and cardiac muscle. Now, voluntary or strained muscular tissue. These can be contracted or expanded at the will of the animal. Voluntary or strained muscular tissue, they contracted and expanded according to the animal's wills or wish. The cells of the voluntary muscle tissue are tubular, unbranched and have transverse strains. These generally have more than one nucleus. These muscles can contract or expand quickly and is also called marked or skeletal muscle. And for example, muscle of the hand and leg of human being. We found muscular tissue in our leg and in our hand, and we also found voluntary or strained muscular tissue in our hand and legs muscles. Now, involuntary or smooth muscle. You can see the figure of different muscle, different type of muscle. It is voluntary muscle. Involuntary muscle, we found nucleus, myofibril and sclerenchyma, and it is called involuntary muscle. Involuntary muscle has sclerenchyma, the nucleus, myofibril, and cardiac muscle. We found in cardiac muscle intercalated disc, nucleus, sarcolemma and myofibril. Now, involuntary or smooth muscle, the contraction and expansion of this muscle tissue do not depend on the will of the animal. This muscle tissue is spindle shaped and faint-tailed branched. Spindle shape means it is called spindle shape. These two side is very thin and its middle portion is thick. Now, this muscle tissue is spindle shaped and faintly branched. Transverse strains are not present. That is why this muscle is called unmarked smooth muscle. Involuntary muscles are found on the walls of blood vessels, alimentary canal, etc. of vertebrate animals. Involuntary muscle mainly take part in the internal circulation of the body, such as intestinal peristalsis in food digestion. Now, cardiac muscle. We know that our heart is prepared with different kind of muscle and it is called cardiac muscle. The special type of voluntary muscle that forms the heart of vertebrate animal is called the cardiac muscle. The cells of this muscle tissue are tubular. They are very small, very similar to those of voluntary muscle, branched and have transverse strains. Between the cell of these tissues, intercalated discs are present. So, there will be a question you found in your MCQ question that where you found intercalated disc? We found intercalated disc in muscular cardiac muscle. Now, the contraction and relaxation of this tissue is not dependent on the will of the animal. That is, the structure of the heart muscle is like that of voluntary muscles and the function is like that of involuntary muscle. So, cardiac muscle, structure is made by voluntary muscle, but it works like involuntary muscle. The cell of heart muscle remain joined together by branches, so they all contract and relax together. Through rhythmic contraction and relaxation, the cardiac muscle controls the circulation of the blood within the body from a certain stage of the embryonic condition till the last moment of death. This cardiac muscle start work from the very starting of our life and it is working without any direction from just before our death. Nerve tissue. The particular type of tissue which forms the nervous system is called nerve tissue. It contains of numerous neurons. What is the unit of nerve tissue? The unit of nerve tissue is neuron. You will learn about this structure in chapter 10. It receives stimulus from the environment such as heat, touch, pressure, etc. The nervous tissue can transmit these stimuli within the body and according to that can make the appropriate response. The special type of cells which from nervous tissue are called nerve cells or neuron. A typical neuron has 3 parts. A neuron has 3 parts and neuron is the unit of nerve tissue. The 3 parts of a neuron is cell body, dendrite and axon. You can see the picture of a neuron. Here we found a cell body. Inside of the cell body we found a nucleus and then we found here axon, and in the cell body we also found dendrites. A neuron cell body is polygonal and nucleated. The cytoplasm of the cell contains mitochondria, ribosome, Golgi body and endoplasmic reticulum, etc. But there is no active centriole in the cytoplasm of neurons, so the neuron cannot divide it. Cell body is surrounded by many small prolonged parts. It is called dendron and the branches of the dendron is called dendrite. You here found in cell body we found huge number of dendron and the cell body of the dendron is called dendrite. Dendrite is one or more than one in number. From the cell body of the neuron, a long nerve fiber emerges which is attached to the dendrite of the neuron. This is called axon. It is called axon. A neuron has only one axon. Between adjoining neuron, a bridge is formed by the union of the axon of one neuron with the dendrite of another, and this is called synapse. Through the synapse, nerve stimuli from one neuron are transmitted to the next neurons. Nerve tissue receives stimulus and transmits it to the brain, and the brain responds to it. In higher animals, nerve tissue store memory and control the work of the different organs of the body and coordination among them. Now, I show you what is called synapse. We see here the dendrite of a neuron. We call it dendrite. And it is the nucleus. Then a axon is created from here. Then it is elongated. Again here the cell body of a neuron is attached and also is dendron. It attached here, dendrite attached here with axon. And in this way they transmitted stimuli from the environment. There is axon and there is cell body, and here is dendrite, and this dendrite joined with the axon of another neuron. In this way they take stimuli from the environment to our brain, and in this way our brain can also respond and it will work. Now, organ and system. The part of animal body formed by the combination of one or more than one type of tissue performing a particular function is called an organ. That is to say, in any organ there may be one or more than one type of tissues and that organ performing a particular function. The branch of the biology where organs are discussed is called morphology. So, what is morphology? The branch of the biology which discuss about different kinds of organs, it is called morphology. And morphology have two branches. One is external morphology and another one is internal morphology. The branch of biology where the morphology of external organs like our eye, ear, nose, head, etc. discussed is called external morphology, and the branch of biology where the internal organs of the organism are discussed is called internal morphology or anatomy. What is the another name of internal morphology? The another name of internal morphology is anatomy. Stomach, duodenum, ileum, rectum, heart, liver, pancreas, spleen, lung, kidney, testes, ovary, etc. are the human internal organs. Here you picture our digestive system, respiratory system, internal integumentary system, excretory system, nervous system and endocrine system. Now, digestive system. This system is associated with the ingestion of food, digestion, absorption and removal of undigested facial materials. The digestive system has two main parts. Digestive canal. This canal is formed with mouth aperture, mouth cavity, pharynx or oesophagus, stomach, duodenum, ileum, rectum and anus. Digestive gland. The salivary glands, liver and pancreas work as digestive gland. The secretion from these glands help to food digestion. So, which are digestive gland? Our salivary glands, liver and pancreas, they are digestive gland. Respiratory system. In human, the respiratory system consists of the nasal aperture, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchus, bronchioles, alveoli and the pair of lungs. This system uses oxygen taken from the environment to produce energy by the oxidation of the food present in the body cells. This energy helps in doing daily work. Now, nervous system. The function of this system is to receive external and internal stimuli of the body and to create appropriate sensation. The nervous system is made up of the brain, the spinal cord, the cranial nerves and spinal nerves. The nervous system has also a part named the autonomous nervous system. This part of the nervous system controls the involuntary action of the body. So, what is the autonomous nervous system? Autonomous nervous system is the nervous system which controls the involuntary action of the body. Now, excretory system. Due to the various physiological metabolic reactions, some nitrogenous waste materials are produced within the body as byproduct. These materials are generally toxic to the body and need to be removed. The process of removing unnecessary and nitrogenous waste materials from the body is called excretion. The system through which excretion is performed is called the excretory system. The excretory system of human consists of a pair of kidney, a pair of urinary ducts, one urinary bladder and one urethra. Now, reproductive system. Through this system, an animal produces one or more offsprings to maintain the continuation of a species. This system consists of gamete producing an embryo bearing organs. When mature, an animal becomes capable of reproducing. In human, the male possesses the male reproductive system while the female possesses the female reproductive system. Now, integumentary system. The membrane covering the body from outside is called integumentary or skin. This system covers the body and protects the body from external injury or attack of harmful microbes. It also controls the movement of various materials through outside and inside of the body. It also protects the liquid parts inside the body. Endocrine system. There are a few ductless or endocrine glands within the bodies of animal. These produce hormones and have no ducts for transportation. Only blood carries the hormones from one place to another. The endocrine system is made up of endocrine glands such as pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, islets of Langerhans of pancreas and suprarenal. So, which things create our endocrine system? Pituitary gland, thyroid, parathyroid, islets of Langerhans of pancreas and suprarenal. They create our endocrine system. My dear students, I hope you understand our today's class and you will read very attentively and try to mark the MCQ from these pages and do the homework. And your homework for the next week is homework number 4, 10 MCQ. You will do your homework properly and submit it on the due date. Till then, keep well. Assalamu alaikum.